Vegetable prices could double before the end of 2026. Scary, right? But here's the catch. Most vegetables are not worth planting in your garden. In this video, you get the 16 vegetables worth growing right now, plus one crop that can quietly feed your family for over 20 years. Let's start with number 1. Main body 1. Cucumbers. Cucumbers grow fast. They are usually ready in 50 to 70 days from planting. They love warm soil, steady water, and a spot with plenty of sun. Give them a trellis or a simple fence to climb, and they will grow up instead of spreading across the ground. This saves a lot of space, especially in small gardens or raised beds. Water them deeply a few times a week, and pick the cucumbers often so the plant keeps producing more. Choose a sunny spot, since cucumbers need at least 6 hours of direct light every day to grow well. Feed the soil with some compost before planting, and mulch around the base to keep the roots cool and moist during hot weather. Cucumbers are in high demand because people use them all year round, in salads, sandwiches, cool drinks, and homemade pickles. Fresh cucumbers from your garden taste crisp and clean, nothing like the soft ones you often find in stores. Picking them regularly also keeps the vine producing more fruit for a longer stretch of the season. But if you think cucumbers grow fast, wait until you see the next vegetable on our list. It takes a little more patience to grow, but the reward on your plate is even bigger. 2. Broccoli. Broccoli likes cool weather, so plant it in early spring or in the fall when the heat has passed. Give each plant enough space to spread its leaves, since crowded broccoli grows smaller heads. Watch out for small pests like cabbage worms, which love to chew on the leaves. A light net cover over your plants can keep most bugs away without using any spray. Feed your broccoli with rich compost before planting, since it is a heavy feeder that needs strong soil to form a full, tight head instead of a small, loose one. Broccoli is packed with vitamins and fiber, which is exactly why health-focused shoppers keep buying it. Stores often sell it at a high price because demand stays strong all year. Growing your own means you get fresh, tasty broccoli without paying that extra cost. Now, let's move to a vegetable that almost every family grows in the middle of summer. It brings pure sweetness straight from the garden to your dinner table. 3. Sweet corn. Sweet corn needs space, warm soil, and plenty of sunlight to grow tall and strong. Planted in blocks of several short rows, not one long single row. This helps the wind carry pollen from plant to plant more easily. Without good pollination, the corn ears will not fill out properly, leaving gaps between the kernels. Water corn regularly, especially once the ears start to form. Feed the soil with compost and a bit of extra nitrogen, since corn is a hungry plant that pulls a lot of nutrients from the ground as it grows tall. Sweet corn is a summer favorite in almost every household. Fresh corn tastes far sweeter and juicier than anything bought days earlier from a store shelf. Families love picking it right before dinner and cooking it the same evening. While corn grows tall and proud above the ground, our next vegetable quietly hides its treasure below the soil. It might surprise you just how valuable this humble crop really is. 4. Carrots. Carrots need loose, sandy soil that lets their roots grow straight and long. Hard or rocky soil makes them grow short, twisted, or forked. Plant the seeds thinly, since they are tiny, and thin out the young sprouts later so each carrot has enough room to grow properly. Keep the soil moist but not soggy while the seeds are sprouting. Avoid fresh manure right before planting, since it can cause the roots to fork or split instead of growing smooth and straight. Carrots are sweet, crunchy, and loved equally by kids and adults. This wide appeal makes them one of the most bought vegetables in every grocery store all year long. Next, we look at a vegetable that comes in many shapes, colors, and even fun names like spaghetti or butternut. It might not be exactly what you expect. 5. Squash. Squash plants grow big, sprawling vines with large green leaves. They need lots of space to spread out and full sun to thrive. Water them well, especially during hot summer days, and feed the soil with compost before planting. Some winter types, like butternut squash, can be stored for many months after harvest without going bad. Give each plant plenty of room, since crowded vines can lead to poor airflow and mildew on the leaves later in the season. Squash is used in soups, side dishes, breads, and even desserts around the world. It is in high demand because just one healthy plant can give you a truly huge harvest to enjoy or share with friends, family, and neighbors alike. Now let's talk about a vegetable that has quietly fed families for hundreds of years. It grows completely underground, but its importance to the world is enormous. 6. Potatoes. Potatoes grow best in loose, well-drained soil that has been dug deep before planting. As the plant grows taller, cover the base of the stem with more soil. A step called hilling. This simple trick helps more potatoes form under the ground and protects them from turning green in the sun. Harvest them once the leaves start to yellow and die back. Keep the soil evenly moist while the potatoes are forming, since uneven watering can cause the tubers to crack or grow oddly shaped. Potatoes are a true staple food, meaning people eat them almost every single day in nearly every country on Earth. That constant demand is exactly why potatoes never go out of style, no matter how many new food trends come and go each year. After potatoes, let's move to a vegetable that grows tight, round heads, and can be stored in your fridge for weeks at a time. 7. Cabbage. Cabbage likes cool weather too, so plant it in early spring or in the fall for the best results. Give it enough space between plants, since the heads can grow quite large and heavy. Watch for pests, just like with broccoli, since cabbage belongs to the same plant family and shares the same bugs. Keep the soil consistently moist, since dry spells followed by heavy rain can cause the heads to split open right before harvest. Cabbage is used in salads, soups, and fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut. It stores well for a long time in a cool place, which makes it very valuable for families who want food that actually lasts through the week. Now, let's talk about a fast-growing cousin of squash. This one is loved by beginner gardeners everywhere for how simple it is to grow. 8. Zucchini. Zucchini grows fast and gives an incredibly large harvest for the effort you put in. One healthy plant can give you more zucchini than your whole family can eat in a week. It needs full sun, rich soil, and regular deep watering to keep producing steadily through the season. Harvest the fruit while it is still small and tender, since letting it grow too large makes the skin tough and the seeds hard. Zucchini is popular because it is easy to grow, even for someone who has never gardened before. This ease of success makes it one of the most planted vegetables in home gardens around the world. Next up is the single most famous vegetable in almost every garden on the planet. You have probably grown it or eaten it sometime just this week. 9. Tomatoes. Tomatoes need support, like a sturdy cage or a wooden stake, to hold up the plant as the fruit gets heavy. They love full sun for at least 6 hours a day and steady, even watering. Try to keep the leaves dry when you water, since wet leaves can lead to disease in humid weather. Remove the small side shoots that grow between branches on many varieties, since this helps the plant put its energy into bigger, better fruit. Tomatoes are the #1 home garden vegetable, and for good reason. People use them in almost every meal, from morning sandwiches to evening pasta sauces. Fresh, homegrown tomatoes taste far richer than the pale, watery ones often found in stores. Once the first fruit turns red, more will usually follow every few days for the rest of the season. Now let's talk about a vegetable that adds flavor to almost every dish you cook. Without it, most recipes around the world would taste completely flat. 10. Onions. Onions take a long growing season, often several months, but they are not hard to grow once you understand their needs. Plant them in well-drained soil that gets plenty of sun. Keep the surrounding area weed-free, since onions do not like competing with weeds for nutrients and water. Stop watering once the tops start to fall over naturally, since this is the plant's own signal that the bulbs are ready to be lifted and cured. Onions are used in almost every recipe in nearly every kitchen around the world. This constant need makes them one of the most valuable crops any gardener can choose to grow, since a well-stored batch can easily last through the whole winter. Next, we move to a leafy green that grows fast and is absolutely full of nutrients. It might be smaller and simpler than the others on this list, but it is mighty. 11. Spinach. Spinach grows quickly in cool weather, and it can often be ready to harvest in just a few short weeks. Plant it in early spring or in the fall for the very best results, since hot weather makes it bolt and turn bitter. Pick the outer leaves first, and the plant will keep producing fresh new ones. Sow new seeds every couple of weeks for a steady, rolling supply, instead of one big harvest that finishes all at once. Spinach is packed with iron, vitamins, and antioxidants that health-conscious buyers actively seek out. Because of this, they often pay a high price for it in stores, which makes homegrown spinach a genuinely smart and money-saving choice. Now let's look at a vegetable that climbs, just like cucumbers, but gives you protein-rich pods instead of a smooth fruit. 12. Green beans. Green beans come in two main types, bush and climbing. Bush beans are shorter and easier to manage in small gardens, while climbing beans need a trellis or pole, but reward you with a much bigger harvest over a longer season. Pick the pods often, since regular picking encourages the plant to keep flowering and producing more. Avoid working around the plants when the leaves are wet, since this can spread disease from plant to plant across the whole row. Green beans are loved by kids and adults alike for their crisp texture and mild taste. They are easy to grow and high in plant-based protein, which keeps demand for them steady all year round. Next is a fancy cousin of broccoli. It looks quite different on the outside, but it actually needs very similar care to grow well. 13. Cauliflower. Cauliflower needs cool weather, just like broccoli, and it can be a bit fussy about sudden temperature swings. Some varieties need a step called blanching, where you gently cover the forming head with its own leaves to keep it pale, tender, and sweet instead of turning yellow or bitter in direct sun. Keep the soil rich and evenly moist throughout the growing season, since any stress from heat or dryness can cause the head to form too small or too early. Cauliflower has become very trendy in recent years, as people use it to make rice substitutes, pizza crusts, and low-carb meals. This growing trend has pushed both its demand and its price higher in stores across the country. Now let's talk about a vegetable most people completely forget about, even though it might be the most valuable one on this entire list. 14. Asparagus. Asparagus is different from every other vegetable here because it is a perennial crop. That means it comes back on its own every single year without needing to be replanted. It does take 2 to 3 patient years before you get a full, proper harvest, but once it gets established, a single asparagus bed can keep producing fresh spears for over 20 years. Resist the urge to harvest any spears during the first year or two, since the plant needs that time to build strong roots for the future. Asparagus is expensive in stores largely because it takes so long to grow and establish. Once your own patch is set up and mature, you get essentially free asparagus every single spring for decades to come. Now let's shift gears to a fast and easy salad green that gives quick, satisfying results for very little effort. 15. Lettuce. Lettuce grows fast and needs very little space, making it perfect for containers, window boxes, or tiny garden corners. In hot weather, give it a little afternoon shade to stop it from turning bitter or bolting to seed too early. You can pick just the outer leaves and let the center of the plant keep growing steadily for weeks. Plant a new batch every few weeks, so you always have young, tender leaves ready instead of one big patch that all matures at once. Fresh salad greens are always in high demand, especially through the warm summer months when people crave lighter meals. Homegrown lettuce tastes crisp, clean, and fresh, without any of the chemicals sometimes used on store-bought bagged greens. Finally, let's end with a vegetable that has become one of the biggest health trends anywhere in the world today. 16. Kale. Kale is tough, cold-hardy, and surprisingly low maintenance once it gets going in your garden. It can even survive a light frost, which actually makes the leaves taste sweeter, so it is a wonderful crop to keep growing through the cooler months of the year. It needs very little ongoing care once it is established and rooted. Pick the outer leaves as you need them, and the plant will just keep growing new ones from the center for months at a time. Kale has become a true superfood in modern diets, showing up in smoothies, salads, and chips everywhere. Its high demand in health food stores means growing your own kale can save you real money, while giving you the freshest, most nutrient-packed greens possible, straight from your own garden, often lasting well into the cold winter months. Outrow. That's all 16 vegetables you should seriously consider growing in 2026. Each one brings something a little different to your table, and to your wallet, whether it is quick and easy or slow and rewarding. Pick a few that truly fit your space, your climate, and your taste, and start planting soon rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Your garden and your kitchen will thank you for it every single day. Remember, you do not need a huge farm to grow good food. Even a small corner of soil or a few containers on a balcony can give you fresh, healthy vegetables all season long. Start small, learn as you go, and let your garden grow with you year after year. Every single vegetable on this list can start from just one small seed, planted with a little care and patience. Happy growing, and see you very soon in the next video with more useful garden tips.